A mountain turned into a fortress. Freezing winds cutting through every layer of clothing. A river so swollen with rain it could swallow tanks whole. And across that icy water, German paratroopers dug into ridgelines like they were carved from the mountain itself. This wasn't a battlefield, it was a wall. A cold, wet, miserable wall built to break armies. And the Allies? They had one job: go straight through it. This is the Battle of the Sangro River. November 1943, the opening punch against the German winter line, and the moment the Allies learned that fighting through Italy wasn't going to be brave, it was going to be brutal. After Italy surrendered in September, the Germans didn't pack up and go home. They dug in. They fortified every ridge, hill, valley, and river crossing from Naples to the Alps. The Sangro was just the beginning, the gateway to the Gustav Line and Monte Cassino. And nature was on their side. November rains hammered the valley. The Sangro flooded its banks, turning fields into sucking mud pits that ate trucks, immobilized tanks, and left soldiers wading waist-deep in freezing filth. Across the river were the Fallschirmjäger, elite German paratroopers, some of the toughest infantry in the entire war. These weren't men who retreated. They were men who made you regret attacking. The British 8th Army led the assault. The New Zealand Division fought to force the first crossings, slipping and sliding through mud that smelled like wet death. Indian infantry climbed slopes so steep they needed ropes just to get into firing position. Canadian units pushed up the Adriatic coast under relentless machine gun and artillery fire. Every inch forward was a fistfight with the terrain. Mines buried everywhere, barbed wire hidden under mud, machine guns and stone embrasures. Snipers dug into rocky cracks halfway up the mountainside. Engineers worked miracles under fire, throwing up Bailey bridges while shells landed so close the blasts shook the steel in their hands. Artillery pounded German defenses night and day, turning entire ridges into burning, smoking rubble, and infantry soaked to the bone and freezing, pushed through currents that could sweep a grown man away. But inch by inch, and with casualties climbing, the Allies forced their way across. It wasn't one big breakthrough. It was a grind, a slow, ugly, punishing crawl against an enemy who seemed to be everywhere at once. By the end of November, the German line finally buckled. The Fallschirmjäger pulled back to the next fortified positions, buying time for the Gustav Line to be strengthened, and setting the stage for the bloodbath at Ortona and the nightmare of Monte Cassino. The Battle of the Sangro River didn't win the campaign, but it taught the Allies exactly what Italy was going to be: steep, muddy, frozen, mined, fortified, and defended by some of the most stubborn soldiers Germany had. The road to Rome began here, in cold water, deep mud, and sheer miserable determination. If you enjoyed this trip down the rabbit hole, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Smart History for Dumb Times. And if you feel like fueling more historical deep dives, the link to buy me a coffee is in my bio.